What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is working on the van day. So I'm headed over to my shop space right now, trying to get the van tidied up. There's a few other things that I know I'll have to get to later on in the week. We leave for Tennessee in a week and 2 days, so just over a week. Going to tackle changing the diff fluid out, putting an additive and new fluid in the diff. This express van I just bought has 270,000 on it, so I'm gonna go through the fluids, do an oil change, and put a remote transcooler on it as well. These factory 3500 express vans are a 6.0 Vortec with the 4L80E transmission in them, and the factory transcooler runs through the radiator. And my father and I both concur that that's not proper cooling for hauling a 24-foot enclosed car trailer. So I bought just a little external oil cooler. I'm going to continue to run it through the radiator because I don't want to overcool my trans fluid, especially in the winters here in New Hampshire. So I'm going to tap into the line and run it through the radiator still. But it is 2:45 in the afternoon. That's close enough to 3, so Dunkin' Donuts is first on the list, which is right across the street from the shop anyway. So I'm gonna meet my dad over there too. He's bringing a bunch of like extra tools. Since I'm still in the process of furnishing my shop, I didn't want to be over at my unit with this as my only wheels that are on the road right now, and just miss like a pipe clamp or something stupid and then be kind of stuck there. So he's gonna meet me over there with just like a handful of other tools that I may not have, or just an extra set of wheels, just so I can get to the parts store if I have to. So on to the shop space. Okay, so we're here at the shop. I'll get the grill off, got the parking lights out, and just gonna kind of take a look at where the best place to mount this transcooler is gonna be. Alright, so we got the transcooler in. Yeah, I still need to pick up a few trim pieces and pieces of hardware to finish like the reinstallation of everything, because there's like so many broken parts that were just barely mended and put back in this thing. I mean, it was just a nightmare taking some of this stuff off because nothing was fixed properly. Things were like barely silicone together. The mount for this parking light had come apart, so rather than getting another parking light, they like electrical taped and like used bubble gum or something to get it in there, and now to get it out, to get the grill off, it's like broke. So now I gotta order, I'm gonna have to silicone it in for now, but I'm gonna order another one tonight that will hopefully be in before the end of the week when we ultimately leave for Tennessee. I didn't realize that the rear diffs do not have a drain plug in these rear ends, so I got to take the cover off, and I don't have any silicone here at the shop because I'm still in the process of setting all that stuff up. So I need a couple more pieces of hardware, like I mentioned, for the front to get that tidied up, and get some silicone for the case cover in the back. So tomorrow I'll tackle the oil change and getting that diff cover off and getting the fluid changed with it on the lift. We were able to do this front end work without going on the lift. All right, what is up, guys? It is the next day. Corey's up here. We got the transcooler in last night, and I just need to put a few more fittings on the line, or a few more clamps on some fittings, and then get to the fluid in the rear end and the oil change. But that's all I'm trying to do on the van today, because today is my birthday, and I want at least a little bit of relaxation today. So I'm gonna knock out a few last little check pieces or checklist pieces on the van. I ordered some tow mirrors today, so those will hopefully be in the next couple days, since with these mirrors I can't even see down the side of my van, down the side of my trailer. Yeah, so gonna get on the lift and knock out a few things. So this is the first time I've used this lift at all. So the first thing going on the lift is the van. And other than the Century, I think this will probably be the largest rig I ever put on this lift. Get the risers on it. All right.
It's nice having a long, flat frame to go to.
It's nice having a long, flat frame to go to, and it's really nice having a Georgia van with a nice, long, straight, rust-free frame in it. All right. Yeah, there's barely enough space in front of the van. Get that shelving unit there. I'm not hearing scary noises from the floor. We're good. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's a big vehicle.
This is better than a floor jack. But yeah. Most people from the South or the West aren't going to appreciate this like Corey and I and everyone else from the Northeast appreciates this. But this, the bottom of the doors, the rockers. Let's take a walk underneath here. Like, the floor of the van, I mean, no rust. Look at the frame. Look at this frame. Look at the inside of the rockers. Look. How good is that?
So good.
I mean, the floor is up in there. Come on. Yeah. Solid. So, yeah, it takes a little bit of extra work. I mean, I had to fly to Atlanta, then up to Chattanooga, and then drive 40 minutes to Dalton, pick the thing up, buy it remote. Luckily, Mason was the MVP and went to look at it for me first. But bringing a Southern vehicle up here to the north is, in my opinion, the only way to do it. I mean, obviously, the vans up here are still good work vans, but I just, in comparison or in contrast to the rusty cars I like, having like a truck or like a tow rig, even if it's as boring as this express van, I like having like a nice one. Like, you know, you can have an express van, but if the rockers are all rotted out of it, like I don't feel like that good. I don't know.
I won't let you under my Tacoma with a camera.
Yeah. Well, we both know where that's been though. It's just been up here its whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the extra work to go down and get one of these rigs is just, and my F-350 was that way too. That dually, that OBS Ford. Underneath that Ford looked as good as this, and it was over a decade older than this. Mm-hmm. And the 4L80E automatic trans has just been rebuilt. I don't have paperwork on that, but when Mason and I met up with the guy, and he was talking about how he had the trans rebuilt about 6 months ago, he mentioned the name of the shop, and Mason actually knew the shop. So
It's freshly painted.
that's what I said. So when I crawled under it, I said, I ain't no expert, but this trans looks like it's been out and been cleaned up. But yeah, super excited about this van. Super stoked that it's solid and rust-free. Yes, I am tempted to lower it. Yes, I am. Maybe drop spindles, springs, and shocks up front. Maybe flip the axle. I don't know how tight that's going to get me to my frame. But even if I don't flip it and just do like a shackle, like a drop shackle, with like air assist or something, so I can still level it out when I tow. It's tempting because this thing's rust free and everything looks like it'll come apart and come out easily. That's for another episode. Case back on? Yeah. We now know that this has been off. I figured with 270,000 on the clock, with my luck, that thing had never been off. But yeah, it was basically RTV to on.
Yeah.
So Corey had to put some elbow sweat and get the thing off. Elbow grease, whatever it is.
I knew what you meant.
So since I didn't bother with getting a gasket for it, we just siliconed it up, and it's about 6 o'clock now, and what we'll do is we'll get this thing tightened down, and we'll just let it set up for a little bit. We'll go get food, we'll go get dinner, and yeah, by the time we come back, that'll be set up enough to where I can put fluid in it. And I'm just getting the front wheels off for the first time, getting a look at, I haven't even taken a look at like pad life or anything. So get the front wheels off, and oil's drained, new filter's on. So once we bring it down after we put diff fluid in it, get some oil in it, and that's kind of the main things. I'm hoping I don't realize I need brakes, but pedal feels good. Doesn't feel like it's got any like sketchy rotors or anything. Everything's smooth and straight when I brake, so I think everything's pretty much ready to go. A few more things to do, food, and then we'll be back at the shop. All right, we got some food. We ate way too much food, like way too much. We went to a local Italian place, takeout. We thought it was a great idea to eat a bunch of pasta, waffle fries, root beer, and then partake of birthday cake. Immediately. We're in really rough shape right now. Yeah, real rough shape. So I posted a photo on Instagram this morning for my birthday, and I reenacted a photo that my parents took of me when I was 4 years old on my 4th birthday, and I looked completely miserable, had a cake, and the same table, chair, and like a bowl and a few other things I still have at my house, like the same table, same chair. So basically 32 years later, oh my gosh, 32 years later, I reenacted that photo, and so I ordered a birthday cake that looked like the cake in the old photo, and so we had a couple pieces, but that's it. The rest of it's going to my friends and my family. I can't live like this. We're gonna fill the diff. The silicone sat for at least a couple hours now, so that should be good to put fluid in. I'm gonna set it down, make sure oil goes in. I didn't get the wheels off yet, so we're gonna take a look at the brakes too real quick. I wanna lower this thing so bad. I saw an express, like a black express drive through town not too long ago, but it was like a 15-passenger express. So it was the long wheelbase of this, and it was black, but it was low on like kind of wideish wheels, like meaty tires still, but it definitely gave me the vision. Yeah, white van. I could see this thing with like black wide steelies. Yeah. I don't like black wheels, but I think this thing can pull it off. All right, so getting a good look at the brakes. Brakes are good. Ball joints, tie rod ends are all greasable. Those look like they're good. I don't have a grease gun here at the moment, so I'll try to get one over here and maybe grease those fittings before we hit the road. Again, I can't believe how solid this thing is. Like the frame itself, shackles, like the spring shackles, body mounts, the body itself. This is all factory undercoating up in here. Man, these express fans just aren't this solid around here. They just aren't. And makes me feel that much better about going all the way to Georgia to get this thing for the added expense of, you know, booking a flight and going down to get it, driving it home. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have any leaks. It weeps a little bit of oil, but that looks like it might just be the oil pan gasket. We were just talking about how these 6.0 and Chevy in general cross members allow you to get the pan out. You were saying you had an issue with
in the Fords. This whole cross member is one piece, part of the frame.
Right.
You know, like
that's the way my 7.3 was too.
It unbolts this.
That unbolts.
This unbolts.
Right.
But the pan comes out anyways.
Yeah.
But in the Fords, it doesn't. It's all one piece. And yeah, my first job, like 15 years ago.
But it was like the first truck on the job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first thing you saw come in.
Pretty much. Someone had replaced the oil pan, but they cut out the cross member, and then when they welded it back in, they just did a poor job.
Yeah, rather than just removing everything.
Rather than lifting the engine. That's the proper way, is you lift the engine.
Yep.
And the truck was back on the road. They were going down the road, and they hit a pothole so hard that the frame twisted. And the truck came off the flatbed, and this tire was off the ground.
Oh my gosh.
But that was just poor welds and
that's insane.
poor Ford engineering.
Yeah. All right, we got fluid in the diff. Thanks to Corey for working on the back of that. Yeah, I just did a quick once over. I hadn't even had a wheel off this thing yet. When I flew to Georgia, I checked the oil, checked the trans fluid, checked the lights, got in it, and went. And yeah, so everything's looking good for the trip. Everything that we can see. Obviously, you never know when something unforeseen happens. But yeah, how are those rubber lines looking, by the way?
They're okay.
I didn't even look at those.
Yeah, they're okay.
They don't look half as bad as my OBS Ford ones.
It's nice
did.
they loop them a couple times.
Yeah, seriously. So you probably can't see it. Not really. Got the trans cooler mounted to the front of the AC condenser. Tapped into the rubber line that goes from basically transmission to what's mounted to the body. So tapped into that so I didn't have to mess with any of my hard lines. So yeah, gonna get the wheels back on it, get it down, and get some oil in it, and we're done for the night. All right, well, that's it. It's 10:30. She's got oil, she's got good brakes, she's got diff fluid, she's got a trans cooler. Everything's tight, everything looks good. Yeah, I aligned the headlights the other night, and
Your lift works.
yeah, my lift works. Yeah, used the lift for the first time. This is the first vehicle of all vehicles that I own. The van is the first vehicle on the lift. So that's exciting. That's actually more exciting than it may sound, but this is my first solo personal shop, and it feels really cool to use a lift in that shop. So grateful for that. Grateful for Corey's help and the hangs on my birthday. Thanks for dinner, by the way. Another year on the sun, another year of not having a single clue what I'm doing, but we're doing it anyway. Yeah, more episodes. So I'm going to be cranking a few out. We're going to be trying to get a few out before we head to Tennessee. And obviously, lots of content on our way to Tennessee. Let me know what you guys think about the van. Should I lower it? I mean, that's a dumb question. I should lower it. But let me know what you guys think. I think this thing lowered down, no wheel gap, wide steelies, but a good rated tire for towing. Maybe some air assist in the back. What do you think?
Yeah, do it.
Maybe we lower the van. Got to get the Q45 done, a few of the projects, the Century, and then maybe we lower the van. But let me know what you think in the comments. We might do it. Maybe. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Lots more coming soon. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys soon.